Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lights Thunder Action, episode 68, the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer featuring special guest co-host Klein the Dino Felt, of course, will be on right after this song.
We got a sticky situation, honey. Can't you see we got 1,130,000 zombies? It's like for the living dead to go. Buzz, buzz all around your head to go. Zombies, zombies, Z-O-M-B-E-Z, zombies, Z-O-M-B-E-Z, zombies. Pesticides, genetically altered minds, infested bees were dead. The day goes from the great instead. Reanimated zombie days ago. Buzz, buzz, all they please. Z-O-M-B-E-Z. Zombies, Z-O-M-B-E-Z. Zombies, Z-O-M-B-E-Z.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Saturday, August 28th, 2021. Welcome to episode 68 of Lights Thunder Action, where every week two Thunder Buddies discuss all things Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and the latest happenings in the entertainment industry. I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
I'm Klein.
This is Kleino the Dino Felt. For filling in for David, because David is off being a big boy.
A responsible adult.
A responsible adult. I guess that's the professional talking here. This is weird. I got to switch us. Bam! Now it's better. I'm on the left side. Klein, what's coming up on today's show, bro?
We've got a crazy show, a very packed show. I'm glad you tapped me in for this. Batman footage, new Batman footage being shown off, some Star Wars gallery reveals, and of course, the big banana. The Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, breaking it down, talking about our favorite moments and all that. It's gonna be packed. I think we're gonna be pretty busy today.
Oh yes. But as you all know, really quick, every week we're live beaming directly into your homes and phones via our LightsThunderAction Facebook and Twitter, and the HWWSWebTV channel on YouTube and Twitch. All of those links can be found at Linktr.com/LightsThunderAction. And, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow to view the live version of our show where you can interact with us. But if you don't want to look at my ugly mug every week, but you want to hear Klein's beautiful voice and David's beautiful voice, Klein, where can everyone find the audio version of our podcast?
You can keep up with the show everywhere that's podcasts are, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. If you're somewhere where the show is not, please let David and Thomas know. I'm pawning that off onto you guys. And also, don't forget to leave your 5-star reviews on all the podcast platforms as well. It really helps, find us in the old algorithms and helps us look good on a Spotify, Google, and Apple front. So we do really appreciate that. Or I'm sure Thomas and David do. I'm saying we like I'm a part of it. I'm part of the family now.
You are part of the family. Anybody who's been on is a part of the LTA family. And we are LTA for life. Wrestling reference. Klein, did you get that wrestling reference?
I'm not. No, I did not.
That's fair.
No,
that's all right.
Yeah.
David doesn't get them either, so we sneak
not
him in
not a big wrestling guy. So
I was just watching wrestling. I ain't even gonna lie. Klein, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us today, man.
I'm good. It's a sunny day up here in Canada and doing well in my part of Canada. I guess Canada's a very big country, so I feel like I'm speaking for the nation as a whole. It's good. It's been a good day. A little exhausted, a little tired, but that's when the best content is made. When the edges are a little worn, you're not as sharp. You're a little looser. I don't have any liquor in me, but it kind of feels like that, I feel like I'm a pint in. Wow. And I'm ready to go. I'm excited.
Okay. You're an energetic pint in.
That's what it feels like. Got some hydration is key.
Hydration is key. Everyone, quick water break.
Hydration is key.
And we're back. So fun fact, I watched Into the Spider-Verse before we went live, and I needed that water break because I cried way more than I thought I would. I've seen this movie about 20 times, but that meeting between Miles, that moment between Miles and his dad, because I tweeted it, well, I just started crying, and then I never really stopped because it was just so good. And
are you talking like the door meeting, like the back where he's laying? Oh my god!
Yeah,
he's taped up at that point. Yeah.
Yep. He's all webbed up. He's like, "I love you." You don't have to say it back though. So yeah, that was my day coming in. It's been a fun time. I don't even honestly know the last time LightsThunderAction had a show. It could have been a week ago. Could have been 4 weeks ago. Time is relative, as I
right now says. Time means absolutely nothing. Like it's
for real. Normally LightsThunderAction, we got David on the East Coast, me here in the Central Coast, or in the Central Time Zone, excuse me, but we got the Pacific flying in over here from Canada. We're international today, baby.
West Coast, Best Coast, baby.
Klein, have you been watching anything lately?
I have been. Right now, my life is obsessed with Netflix's F1 Drive to Survive, which is a rabbit hole I have fallen down. I don't know if you know what this show is. It is it is a documentary series. There's 3 seasons, and it's followed the last 3 years of the F1 circuit, I guess. Okay. And it is a docu-series. The reason I got into it was because it is, from what I've seen, is beautifully well done. It's just shot super well. And I don't have a lot of time to watch TV. So I thought, you know what, I can put this on and not really think about it. But then I got hooked. There's drama, there's backstabbing, there's people changing teams, there's happiness, there's blood, sweat, tears. It's a roller coaster of emotions. I've been really enjoying it. I've never been an F1 racing person, nor will I don't think I ever will be, but I am all in on that. And then I just finished a full playthrough for the first time of all the Halo games. That's been that took up a lot of my time. Yeah. So I've never been an Xbox kid, always PlayStation and Nintendo, and I got a PC. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. And I played through all of them except for 5. So I'm ready to go for Infinite this fall. I am all in. I'm all in on Master Chief. The music at Halo, big music guy. The music is awesome. I've been having a lot of fun. What about you, Thomas? You into anything lately?
I got the flu, ladies and gentlemen. I do.
Yeah, you're looking a little thinner.
I'm so thin right now. I started about 7 o'clock last night. I made a second or third meal in a couple hours, and then I just kept eating all night. And I woke up today, and I've had so much energy. It was like just a carb explosion. And I woke up today, and I'm like, You know,
What are you eating for this like post flu meal? Like what is that? What was on the plate?
So yesterday, about 3, I had lunch. Right, that was a mahi fillet, nice and blackened, pan seared, very very delish. Then a couple hours later, I had a chicken with some kicking chicken, very simple. Do some bell peppers and onions in there for a little flavor. I'll do some rice in there, and then later on, I had a little bit of keto ice cream that my roommate has. And then I just went to the store, bought chips, eggs, and granola bars. I ate about a box of granola bars, all protein, trying to put that mass back on.
Get huge, getting yacked.
Trying to get so yoked, man. Because, my buddy here, Christian's in the comments, it is National Power Rangers Day. And I wish I could say I watched Power Rangers today, but I didn't. Because I'm a failure, but that's okay.
Big Power Rangers guy. Oh, you have a Power Ranger behind you.
Huge Power Rangers guy. Like Power Rangers, Klein. I could go on for hours. A year ago today, we were doing a Power Rangers watch along of the 2017 movie.
I've still never seen the 2017 movie. That's probably the movie since 2017 that I have scrolled past most and gone, I need to watch that, and then proceed to, I don't know, put on trash movies like Sonic the Hedgehog. I just watched that the other day.
Did you say trash?
It was okay. It was fine. I'm a big Sonic guy too. It was good. It was good. It was a good
I'm not that big a
movie.
Guy.
It was not.
It was a good movie.
It was fine. I really like Jim Carrey. I thought it was. I don't know.
Jim Carrey can do no wrong.
He do no wrong. He can do a little bit of wrong.
Well, man, we forget about those. We only look at the good stuff. The first Ace Ventura.
Not Yes Man. Not 2007's Yes Man.
I've seen it. I don't remember if I liked it.
It's Liar Liar, but he can't say no. Okay, what have you been watching?
Oh my God, yes, I love Liar Liar. So, because I had the flu, and there was this entire cultural phenomena event known as the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, I watched all 7 live-action Spider-Man movies in
how many days?
72 hours. I started. I think I got the original trilogy like Tuesday, and it was watch.
Oh,
Spider-Man.
so you didn't have these movies. You purchased these movies for this event.
I had to reach out to my my old roommates and be like, "Hey, you guys want the Spider-Man movies? Hey, let's split it real quick." So had to cover my bases. But I bought at least the original Spider-Man trilogy, which comes with Spider-Man 1, 2, 2.1. Have not watched that one yet. 3 and the editor's cut of 3. I watched the editor's cut of 3.
Did you not watch the theatrical cut of 3? So you watched the special edition of 3.
I watched I went and looked at what was supposed to be different because I was like, this is the exact same movie that I remember. And it's only a reordering of some things more than anything.
A reordering.
Certain
like
scenes
what?
Are extended. Certain scenes are entirely different. Certain takes are different. Like apparently Franco's amnesia shtick is played differently in the editor's cut.
Huh.
I don't know.
I don't know if we needed an editor's cut for that movie, but
I definitely
cannot
wait. I can't wait to sit down and compare the differences. And I'll say it here and now. That's the only bad Spider-Man movie. That's my takeaway. That's one takeaway. The only bad, like outright bad. No good things in it are redeemable upon what's bad. And I'm saying this specifically because TASM 2 has so many great things, including the greatest Spider-Man scene of all time in a live-action movie, which is the very end scene of that movie, filling me with such hope. So I watched all of those, and I might have 2 distinctly different rankings built up in my head, an objective and a subjective ranking. And I also watched Into the Spider-Verse today. So I'm basically all Spider-Man movies in right now. I'm fully prepared for an insane No Way Home discussion later on. And I'll say it here now, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, objective and subjective, still the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Yeah. And if you think differently, like some people we know, I like that right now there is no David Thompson to throw it under the bus. I like that right now we can definitively say right now that Into the Spider-Verse is the favorite LightsThunderAction Spider-Man movie. Definitively, no questions asked. David Thompson can
come back on the show and argue on a future date, but until now it is headcanon. I'm gonna use that for such terrible jokes in the future. Did you hear that, by the way? The sound effects?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's good. There's a couple weeks where it doesn't play through it. I found out.
No, it was a very good. I'm a big fan of any blah. Like, you know, it was a good blah.
I felt like I was going into the IMAX.
Yeah, yeah. I felt like I was watching a Nolan trailer.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break really fast. And don't forget that Suncoast Fan Fest is coming up in just under a month. We are still doing our thing there. There's a lot of stuff that I should be clicking on right now because we have so many little things built up. I don't know if I'm allowed to play these. Pop, if you're watching, can I play the voice actor coming up? We got any of that lined up? Anyways, back to the plot. We're going to take a quick break. We love you. And yeah.
I'm GW Pomager.
I'm Dina Marie.
I'm Sage Ia.
I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
Hey, I'm David Thompson.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mia.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Hey there, this is Dave Adams.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Rose.
Jerome Conner here.
Hey guys, it's Josh Bauer.
It's Willow Schuyler.
I'm Cosplay Michael.
I'm Brava.
It's your boy Country.
I'm Ryan Permison.
And I'd like to ask you guys, please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe to HWWS
WebTV.
Great bunch of people.
And don't forget to smash the bell.
Ring that bell.
Smash that bell.
Hit that bell.
Hit the bell to be notified.
Hit the bell to get notified of new shows
and videos.
You're going to want to do that, so do that soon.
So we can cross that 20,000 mark.
And get us to 100,000 subscribers.
To 1 million and 10 million and 100 million.
On HWWS.
WebTV.
You really like it. I guarantee it.
Thank you.
A small town coroner has to rescue her town. I'm not gonna lie, everybody. You know what this is. This is Zombeez the movie. Go check out the GoFundMe, the Facebook, and the Instagram. You can find all of that fun stuff at Linktr.com/Zombeez the movie. ZOMBEEZTHE movie. It is it's about a small town corner, a corner of a small town. Man, I ain't even gonna lie, I floundered that because I deleted the thing right at the last second. Zombeez the movie. I'm in it. That's my pitch, guys. I'm in it. It's gonna be hilarious.
I do want to say that in that HWWS ad, I want to meet Cosplay Michael. Cosplay Michael. Did I get that? Yes. Michael. Okay. I want to meet that kid. He looks he looks awesome.
He's I will be honest. I think he kind of hates me now after MegaCon because I was just, I'm a big brother, so I'm gonna needle him. I'm just gonna needle him back, because he's 10, 11. We had fun. I would try and crack jokes and make him laugh, and he's right at that age, just like my nephews, where I'm not cool anymore. So, so the shtick only lasts a while. But when he was Cap and I was Thor, I beat the crap out of him. What can I say? Who knows how to handle a hammer and a shield? Ladies and gentlemen, it's now reached that time in the show for this beautiful journalist to my right to enlighten us with new information from across the multiverse. Klein Felt works for a bunch of places, but the one that I know off the top of my head is the direct.com. And that's why he's here this week to bring you your favorite segment.
What, the news?
Surprise.
Boom.
Anyways, Plo Koon or Luke Skywalker in the Disney Gallery. We had to keep up. That's the exact quote I didn't want to read. In the Disney Gallery, upon the Luke Skywalker reveal, it was revealed by Peyton Reed that, quote, we had to keep Marcus secret. that went from creating misreads in the script, creating artwork that was not Luke, creating some temporary visual effects that were the character of Plo Koon. Why Plo Koon? I hear you asking. Well, quote, a lot of people, if Plo Koon from the script got out, would assume, well, of course, because Dave likes Plo Koon. So there's these layers of intrigue we try to weave. We have a digital Plo Koon head placed on the actor in dailies. That's Dave Filoni. Spoiler alert for you, Klein, because you haven't seen it yet.
Have not watched Gallery yet. Nope, not yet, or not on this not the finale episode yet. No.
Yeah,
I saw this news though.
What do you think of this news?
I don't know. I think it's pretty. It's just another example of Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. They do this all the time. It's just another example of how great they are and the lengths they will go to hide the secret, to hide the best stuff, especially stuff they know is going to pop, right? Like if it had come out that, oh, Plo Koon's going to show up at the end of Mando, people would have been like, cool, like that's I would have popped. I don't know if I wouldn't have gotten up out of the couch like I did when it was Luke, but I don't know. I think it's really cool that they are going to these lengths, and this isn't free what they did digitally adding a Plo Koon head, right? Like they spent money to hide this information. So I don't know. I think it's cool. I did see some uproar. Some people were like, oh, why would you bother doing that or whatever? And that's just the internet being angry and old man yelling at clouds sort of thing. Like, just, this is cool. Like, stuff like this is cool. And I'm happy that we're in a world, especially with Disney and Star Wars, where they're being open and they're showing us a little bit of how the sausage gets made. And I think stuff like this, I don't know if 10 or 15 years ago we would have heard about something like this. I think it would have kind of sat in the back, and maybe some report down the line would, someone writes a book or something, that secret gets out, that story gets told. But I'm really happy we're getting it from the source, and I can't imagine they're showing us everything too. So I think that there maybe are these other little hidden nuggets that I would like to see. Also, that concept art is badass. That's the coolest Plo Koon has ever seen.
I had to put this up on the screen for our visual audience because it's glorious. I would have lost my mind if we get Ahsoka in one episode and then a few episodes later we get, the Jedi who brought her into the Order of Plo Koon, and it's like, bro, how did you survive that plane crash, that Jedi cruiser crash?
However, you would not have popped as hard as you did when Luke Skywalker showed up. And don't lie to me, because
I didn't pop because I watched it at 2 a.m. after almost a 24-hour day. Okay. It was So long story short, I was traveling, but I started a new job. So I went to that job and I was like, yeah, can I leave by noon? They said, yeah, sure. Well, I got so busy that it was 2 o'clock. I never ate a lunch. Supposed to see it with my pops. Didn't work out because he was like, well, I'm leaving. So no. Went, packed all my stuff, was going up to a hiking trip, and I got there at like 10 Eastern and finally got to sleep. I get to watch it at 2 a.m. Eastern on my iPad. And I'm sitting there just bonkers exhausted. And he pops up and I go, is that Luke Skywalker? What's up with his face? Is that Mark Hamill? Why does it look like his face is swimming? What's going on here? No, okay, it is Luke. He spoke. That's cool, man. And I went to sleep and I woke up the next day and rewatched it, and I was just like, oh, dude, this is real. I thought dreamt this. Like,
you starved yourself of an amazing moment there. Like,
well, I will admit that when the Jedi was coming through, I was like, I wonder who it is. Like, the way they explain it in the Disney Gallery, which I cannot wait for you to see, mind you, is, we build some intrigue. Like, nah, they're not going to do that. And yeah, he's right. I was literally like, they're not going to do this.
When the X-Wing showed up, I'm like, that's Luke's X-Wing, but there's no way. Like, that's Luke's X-Wing, but there's no way. Unless they got Sebastian Stan or someone to come in and like, and like, there's no way. Even it wasn't until right at the end when, it's like, oh, that's definitively Luke Skywalker. That was like, that's Luke Skywalker. Like I stood up. I'm like, there is no way when he was slashing through and the music's playing. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, I think this is Luke, but it can't be Luke. But it was, and it was, it was so much better for it. It was way better than it would have been if it was Plo Koon. No offense to Plo Koon.
No offense to Plo. I'm a big Plo fan. Fun fact, Plo Koon was my favorite character to play with on these. I'm going to show my age here. The episode 1 Phantom Menace PlayStation game.
I thought you were going Lego Star Wars.
No, because he had a yellow lightsaber.
Okay.
If you can't tell, I love the color yellow. So, huge pop for that. I would have popped, but I definitely had more of an energetic connection because I was like, they're not doing Luke. But once they showed his hilt of the lightsaber, that's when I knew. I was like, that's Luke Skywalker's hilt. I know lightsabers like nobody. Speaking of lightsabers like nobody, maybe a limb joke would have been a little funnier there. We got some Vader concept art from the Kenobi series. Kenobi! That was tough.
That took a lot out of you, especially with the flu. I don't know how you're doing it.
Yeah. Cocaine. I'm lying. I'm lying. Instant joke. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but for our visual audience, I'll pop it up here on the screen, and I'll use words to describe. We have a back-to-tube tank with what looks like it is inside of a warehouse, and there's a ladder next to it, a very earthly ladder. On the far right of your screen, you got a mask, which is necessary to be inside of the back-to-tube there. But who there is in the middle? Who? It's nothing more than a concept art of Hayden Christensen, bald, his arms chopped off at the fore, and he's got a lot of holes in him, and he's literally going to be lowered into the back-to-tube tank. Klein, it looks like we're getting Hayden Christensen as burnt up Tostitos Vader. I feel bad for making that joke, but I'm sticking with it. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this?
I can't wait. Like I'm sorry if that's a simple, like, that's an unanalytical take, but like, I can't wait for this series. Like, I can't wait. Something very interesting, as you say, is you think this is like immediately burnt. Like, how post burnt up are we talking? Because could this,
10 years.
if 10 years, okay, so that's okay. So I really like this. I love anytime we see Vader in like I like mid-dress almost, I guess you would say. Like, you catch him at a bad moment where he's got the helmet off or whatever. I hope, I think it would be really, really, really freaking cool if this sequence were to take place with Obi-Wan in the presence of Anakin. Like he sees him in the tank. Like, he sees, because we will get, I mean, I'm not guaranteeing it, but we will get probably a full Vader helmet, armor, Obi-Wan clash of some sort. But I do really like the idea of Obi-Wan having to see kind of what he's done, which isn't something that we've really seen yet, right? Like, seeing seeing the carnage that he's left behind in this just absolutely decimated, burnt up body of a man that he once called his friend. I think that could be really, really touching and depressing at the same time. Even if Vader isn't conscious for this, if he's conscious for it, even worse. Like, I think that could be like the eye contact and he can't do anything. But if he just sees him in that tank and walks past, and maybe you get like a Force theme couple notes or whatever, and I'm excited. I can't wait.
I like your scenario. I'm gonna sprinkle some fairy dust on top of it with a melding of an Imperial March and the Force theme.
Oh my god.
They're like very different tempos.
Oh yeah.
You could do it because of the Throne Room theme song. Making play with the Force theme. The Binary Sunset, if you will. I think that would be a great, if you're not into the High Republic, but the Song of the Force would be epic in that little thing, because it could just be like the opera.
And I think something that these Disney Plus series, whether it's Mando or on the Marvel side, they've done a really good job at really analyzing the character. And because you have an extended period of time, you can actually, you're sitting with this one character. You can get to know their motivations a little bit better. You can get to know who they are even a little bit better. And so I think that if this is one of those just like character moments like that, Wanda standing on the empty plot of land in WandaVision kind of moments where it's just like an emotional culmination. Maybe it's the first time he sees him. Maybe it's the last time he sees him in the series. I think that, as I said, the idea of Obi-Wan looking at the corpse, the carnage that he has left behind, because that's, he hasn't gotten that with really any of his other battles yet. I mean, I guess eventually it's Maul, but like, I don't know. I'm very excited in the prospect of that. It's a lot to take from one concept art. A lot of concept art gets made for things that don't happen. So I don't know. I think that it's really cool. I love the look of this too. I love that tube and the machines on him.
Yeah. And it looks like it's, I mean, we know that he's got massive lung damage. So that's kind of why he needs the rebreather and why he still wears the suit. It's about his ability to breathe it. Here's a good question coming in from the comments from Terry McIver, the social media master. Will we see Vader and Obi-Wan in the same scene, or would that take away from now I'm the master? Klein, I'll let you answer that first.
I think we do. Otherwise, why include him in the series, right? That whole connection, I think, is going to play a huge part to the series.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see a scenario where it doesn't happen and we almost get like a, I don't know, two ships passing in the night sort of deal. But I don't know why you include Christensen in it at all if he's not. Yeah. If he's not going to come face to face.
Yeah, because that's just a waste. But also, they mentioned it at Disney Plus Investors, what it was last.
The Investors Day?
Yeah, thank you. The Investors Day. I was going to call it Disney Plus Day, but that's this year. They mentioned that it's the rematch of the century and they will fight, is what they're saying. So it's like, okay. And I'm really intrigued based on this line. What is going to happen? Like, what is it that he was but the learner of at this point? Because you always
does this mean Obi-Wan schools him? Like, that's what I think. I think he comes in all. Can we use language here?
Yo, yes.
Okay. I think he comes in all big dick swinging as Vader going, I'm going to rock you, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan decimates him or does something like truly embarrassing to him. And then that gives even better context for that. Now I'm the master line, because he's going to go back and because he's Vader, he's going to go back and he's going to rebuild himself and going to make himself better.
You know what's great about this, Klein? Is that Darth Vader comics, arguably the greatest. From what I've understood on the internet, because I've not read all of them, that's the only one that never really misses, is the Darth Vader comics.
Yeah.
We've had one set between 4 and 5. We have them set between 5 and 6. We've had them set right after episode 3. Now we have the opportunity to set it after Kenobi and build into the
4.
height of his powers of, leading into that Rogue One murder scene, the murder hallway, if you will. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Or even leading into that. I don't know if you've played Jedi Fallen Order, but
yes,
spoilers for that game, the very end with Vader, like that's very similar to Rogue One era Vader. Like he's full I don't want to say cocky, but I guess cocky to me. Like that's kind of how he comes off to me a little bit is, oh, I'm better. I'm better now that I'm in this, I don't know, suit.
That would be an interesting, the most interesting take. I actually really like that idea. That I do think he would come in and get schooled by Kenobi, and I really want to know like why, like what is it? What, because they're such vastly different sides of the Force that you've got to think, you know, what is it? What is he the learner of? Is it, you know, is it his new suit? Can't be after a decade. Anyways, we're going down a quick rabbit hole, but I mentioned some more Star Wars news, so I'll sound the breaking news klaxon. Oh, I love that sound. This comes from Andrew Gilman at The Direct, and it's Star Wars director makes bold claim about upcoming Boba Fett show. Quote, it over-delivers. That's the short quote. Robert Rodriguez, in an interview with Collider, said, I can't say anything about it at all right now, but it's coming out in December. Wait until you see what's coming. It's going to blow your mind. That's all I can say. I can talk it up all I want because I know it over-delivers. It way over-delivers. People are going to be so pumped when they see it. Klein, what do you think about that?
I'm excited for Boba Fett, and I think that it could have moments that blow our mind, but this does sound a little. It's the director they're talking to. It does sound a little bit like if I'm a painter and I'm finishing a painting and everyone's waiting to see the painting, I'm gonna say the painting's amazing because I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, Book of Boba Fett, it sucks. But okay. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it comes from. He doesn't really say a lot. He says a lot without saying a lot, which is what these directors
love to do
and what media people and PR people do. So I think that,
Feige.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can look at this and go, oh my God, this means the Marvel and the Star Wars universe is crossing over or something. I don't know if this will be some mind blowing thing, but it could be. It could be. It just, I want you to put your, I don't know, your cautiously optimistic hat on and go, okay, he is the director. It's gonna be good. It's going to be good. Robert Rodriguez can deliver.
You want to know what's weird is you're like, he is the director, and I go, yeah, that's kind of why I'm like getting pumped, because not every director is gonna say, like, he's not the type that I don't think to go out and be like, yeah, it does this, it does that, it over delivers.
Isn't he though? Because that's his movies. Like his movies are these boof boof, like crazy.
I mean,
like bombastic sort of thing, almost Snyder-esque at points in a different style, but like overindulgent. Like, so I don't know. I haven't read a ton of Robert Rodriguez quotes. I don't know the guy. I haven't heard him speak. But judging just from his resume, to me, he comes off as somebody who would be like, oh yeah, it's gonna over deliver. It's gonna be the best, blah, 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 right? It's gonna blow your mind. I don't know.
Yeah. That's okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I hate to be the sour Sally over here,
that's
but
okay. Hey, no, I like it. We need that balance, you know what I'm saying? Because meanwhile, I'm over here going, what if they bring in Omega?
It's pronounced Omega.
Omega. Reka. Hunter.
Well, I think she's gonna show up somewhere.
Tick.
She's gonna show up. She's gonna show up somewhere.
Yeah, and if I want to know if she shows up at this point in time, she's like the same age as Boba.
Oh yeah.
Maybe 5
she'd
years younger,
be
but like
she'd be a little younger.
She's in that generation though. So
I don't know if she shows up here. I think she's connected to Baby Yoda somehow. I think she's connected to Grogu because she's part of the cloning process, and Grogu's part of the clone. I think part of cloning somehow and cloning the Emperor. So
okay. Wow. So you think Omega's working for the Emperor?
No, I do not think that. I think that she, because she's an experiment and she's part of this cloning. I think everything we're leading to and everything Filoni is doing right now is trying to make the sequels look like better movies from afar, and they're going to do that by talking about how they were cloning the Emperor, and I think Omega is somehow a part of that. I think that Grogu is somehow a part of that. Somehow, they were involved in it, not in I'm working for the Emperor, but maybe the cloners that cloned Omega were then hired out down the line. I don't know. I think that's what is going to be. So I don't think we get that in Book of Boba because we don't have Grogu there.
That we know of.
You're right. That we know of.
Moving on to the DC universe. Listen, guys, we have DC news. We cover it sometime.
Let's go.
We cover DC news when David's not here. Love you, David. We're real quick. I've been watching Titans season 3.
Should I watch Titans?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
You'll learn from David. If you're going to ask me to watch something that I've seen, I'm 99% going to say yes. Unless I absolutely hate it, like Avatar, the Blue People. And then I'll be like, nah, you don't need to watch that. Just watch YouTube, mate.
I just want to hang out with Jake Sully for 3 hours.
I mean, I'd be cool with hanging out with Zoe Saldana for 3.5 hours, but not Jake Sully.
Ride my dragon. Plug yourself in.
My God.
I can't wait for the next 8 Avatar movies, guys.
So what you're saying is that was bestiality?
No, they're just plugging themselves in. It's different.
They did.
You can use the same appendage for different things.
Yeah, and one is usually gross. So I guess the bestiality is the gross side, right?
I don't know.
How did we get
here? James Cameron, if you're listening, please.
Toilet humor. First, new Batman footage. Back to the plot. There's new Batman footage. My question is, how dark is too dark? But we don't really have that much from here. So here's the quote. This is the footage description. For some reason, this is a quote within that footage, I should say. For some reason, Batman has always stood as one of the major characters of the 20th century, Pattinson says. We see him in the cowl, removing it. He says it is radically different from the other Batman movies. Reeves says we haven't seen anything grounding it the way Year One does. It's not an origin story, but it is Batman in his early days. Footage shows Batman beating up goons, set in red light, explosions, police officers, and dark chaos. He's really working out this rage, Pattinson says. All the fights seem very personal. He uses various weapons to beat down enemies. A shot of Andy Serkis as Alfred. The Batmobile drives, with flames coming out its exhaust, like cool guys know they do. We can't wait for you to see the Batman in theaters next year, Reeves says. Screen Rant also shared a description of the footage, adding that Reeves teased an emotional Batman movie, while reinforcing that it shouldn't. There's no origin story in this. It's just a tale from his early days. So, what do you think? Are you hype? Are you hyped for the Batman?
I can't wait for this movie, dude. You're asking the wrong guy, because I will sit down. I will sit down and watch anything Batman but I can't wait for this movie. I know that he's playing up this will be an emotional Batman movie, and there's a lot of people going, oh, Batman's getting sadder and sadder with every movie. But Matt Reeves is a director that I trust. Robert Pattinson is a star that I trust. Everything I've seen from this movie has blown my expectations out of the water. I cannot wait. I wish they had released this footage. From what I can tell, it was a lot of interspliced footage from what we've already seen, with a couple little things from what I heard from CinemaCon. But the Batman is one of my most anticipated movies easily. Something that I do find very interesting is he says, we can't wait for you to see the Batman in theaters next year. he doesn't. A lot of times when they're giving quotes like this, they say the release date, and this does this, or is this just moved to 2022? I think it has a February sometime release date.
That is a grand question.
On it, I'll look it up because
I'm also on it. March 4th. Look at that.
And he doesn't say that. So I don't know if that means it's getting pushed again. That is putting a lot of weight into just this one quote. I just usually in these sort of quotes, especially coming from an event like CinemaCon, they usually will say the release date, and he just said next year.
True.
But I can't wait for this movie. Give it to me. Give it to me.
You know what's really bummer? Like, it was supposed to come out October
a year
1st
ago
of this year.
Or well, I thought it was originally. I thought it was February, right?
I know. I'm pretty sure it was October. I remember October 1st because I was like, it's my 30th birthday. I care about my birthday now. That's what they said at Fandom last year when they announced it all. It was going to be October 1st or whatever. And now you've seen how the cookie crumbles.
June 2021 was the original release date. And then was pushed.
And then was pushed to my birthday. And then further and so on and so forth.
Now we're in 2022.
Let me see. March 4th. Who do I know? They will be... Okay. They have a cool movie coming out on their birthday. Must be nice. Anyways, I'm excited for this. And, the How Dark is Too Dark. I actually do think this is... I get this feeling that this one will be the darkest based on everything we've seen. And it should be. Because it's not his origin story. It's him a year in. All of the shine and allure of, being a hero is going to be gone. And he's just going to be in the shit.
Also, spoiler alert, Batman is fucking dark. Like, if you like the comics, especially can go places. And this isn't Marvel. This isn't this isn't even Superman, which can be pretty hopeful at times. This is Batman, and Gotham City is just everything's wet and gray all the time. It is a dark place.
It is a hive for scum and villainy.
I expect it to be dark. I expect my Batman movie about the Riddler, a man who who is basically a delusion serial killer who thinks through riddles. And in this movie seems to wear duct tape over his face.
Yeah. Because that's sane.
Yeah. In a movie where the hero's costume is literally made from the gun that killed his parents, I would expect this movie to be dark.
And I want this one to be dark, but I like the idea that we'll see him throughout his journey. That's just a fan theory too, by the way. Nothing's been said from Matt Reeves, but we might get a year 2 story. And then we might get a year 5 story. Then we might get a year 10 story. What is that journey over 10 years? Or what if we skip a little further ahead and we have a 20-year span of stories here?
And we get a real Dark Knight Returns sort of old man Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the time he gets there, maybe he's a little bit more hopeful, a little bit more heartfelt because he's older and he's more weathered. And let's hope that he doesn't turn into the Batman from Titans, because that motherfucker is insane. I love the take they have on him, because in my opinion, it's what happens if Batman goes bad without having to go bad. And they diagnosed him with borderline personality disorder on this last episode. And I was like, oh, it makes so much sense. I've had a couple people yell at me on Twitter. They're like, he's too functional. No, that's just the functional side of BPD, which is more of a farce in terms of his outward projection as Bruce Wayne. Everything else, his real self, is Batman. He hates his life. He only focuses on pain, and he's vengeance.
Yep.
So there's a line. There's a line in Titans, and it says, "Be a better Batman." And it's like,
everyone he loves dies or leaves, And yep, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for this movie. I want another trailer. I want another trailer so bad.
I don't even. You know what? That trailer was so good. I'm good.
That trailer is perfect. The thing that worries me a lot is that this movie will not live up to that trailer. That trailer, like, made me feel alive. When those Nirvana bars kick in, and it's like this is like, can you pick a better song than Heart-Shaped Box for Batman and Jeffrey Wright? I can't wait to see Jeffrey Wright. I cannot wait to see Jeffrey Wright. I cannot wait to see Zoe Kravitz. Oh man, like Paul Dano is going to be. There's no way this movie can be bad. I'm saying it. You can lock that in. There's no way this movie can be bad.
I like that hot take. I can't lie to you. We're going to move on to the best day in the history of all days, Halloween night. Apparently, there is a Halloween Marvel Studios special being developed for the year of 2022, according to the Wrap. And they're casting for the Untitled Halloween special. They're seeking a Latino male in his 30s to star in the project. Production on the project looks to begin in early 2022. There are no concrete details on which character they are casting for or which MCU heroes will be involved. But individuals with knowledge, in quotations, about the project believe it will be centered around Werewolf by Night. This would line up with reports from earlier this summer, which had Disney Plus developing a project on the Werewolf by Night character. And that's also something that Kevin Smith has mentioned. I think that's the reason it got mentioned at all, was he mentioned it on his podcast that a couple years ago for the Howard the Duck series, before it got axed, they were asking if they could use Werewolf by Night, and they said no, the movie division wants to do that for live action. This could be it. So my only real question, because I have no idea about Werewolf by Night, is where does Halloween, the day, rank for you, Klein?
You're asking the wrong person, because I'm a diabetic, so I hate Halloween. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I can't eat candy. One. I was a chubby little kid growing up, and I loved Halloween. I loved eating those candy. I was all about it. You get those little O. Henrys, you get some Kit Kat, and you just down them. But I'm not a big Halloween guy. I live with a Halloween freak. My girlfriend is all about it. I am a Christmas man through and through.
No.
Halloween's fine. I love scary movies, so that's kind of that's where I find my enjoyment in Halloween, especially like big like slasher, especially older slasher movies like that, like Halloween and Scream and Friday the 13th. There's something about that I like, but I don't really like dressing up all that much, and I dress up okay. When I was in grade 4, I was 10 years old and I was 170 pounds. And I was a big boy. I was a big kid. And I'm tall now. I'm 6'5", but I was not that tall when I was this young. And I dressed up as the Pillsbury Doughboy. And I thought that was a really good costume until it meant that every house I went to, I would get poked in the belly and I had to giggle. And now I hate dressing up.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you picked such a damn good costume that you played yourself out of it.
It was more that people kept poking my belly, and I had a big belly, and I didn't like that. And now I one day I would like to get in as good shape as you are, Thomas, and I would like to dress up as Spider-Man. That is the one costume I'd like to wear.
6'5", just be Spider-Man.
But I'm not like, I want this to be like something to work towards. I want to put on some muscle. I want to eat the chicken and rice. I want to drink the protein. And I don't just want to wear a Spider-Man costume. I want to like kill a Spider-Man costume. I want to rock a Spider-Man costume.
That's fair. I understand that. I always am nervous about putting on a Spider-Man costume. And then I put it on and go, oh, look at that. I look like Tobey Maguire. Every time. Never fails. I always think I'm really skinny and lean. And then I put on the costume and I'm like, damn, I'm like really big. Because every time every time. I've worn
it hides nothing.
It hides nothing.
Yeah.
It not only hides nothing, but it's when I realize that, like, wow, I have way more muscle than I realize. And it's only when I wear Spider-Man that I recognize that. Thank you, Spider-Man. We're going to come back to Spider-Man in a bit. Wanda is apparently going to fight a Fox character. This is coming from Daniel RPK, everyone's most trusted scooper, I guess.
He's a scooper.
He's a scooper. I'm trying so hard not to make a cat litter box joke, but we'll get there one day. Toilet humor. In Doctor Strange 2, Wanda will fight someone from the Foxverse. Parentheses. I'm not allowed to reveal who it is, but could top this fight. I don't even remember what that fight was. It was Wanda kicking someone's ass or something. I don't remember. Who do you want her to fight, Klein?
I want her to fight an X-Men, but I'm not going to get that because I think we're too far away from that. I want her to fight, like, I don't know, Jean Grey would be cool as hell. If like a fully powered Jean Grey, hell yeah. But I don't think they're going to introduce the X-Men and have a Omega level Jean Grey ready to go. I think it might be, I don't know. I think it might be a Fantastic Four character, which I'm okay with because we have Fantastic Four coming down the line.
Okay.
But I don't know. I saw a lot of people instantly went to X-Men, and then I saw a few people going, what if it's a Fantastic Four character? And I'm okay with that. Chris Evans as a Fantastic Four character.
That would be glorious. That's one thing I need is Chris Evans to come back as Johnny Storm. Just once. Like, he'd have fun. Like,
maybe it's Jessica Alba.
Tearing up my heart when you say that. I want it to be. Honestly, I don't know who I wanted. At first, I was like, yeah, Galactus Cloud. That's who she's going to fight. Because that just sounds like the stupidest thing that Marvel Studios could make work.
Yeah.
The Galactus Cloud from... My God. Oh, shit. What if it's Silver Surfer, actually?
I said that in a thread. I mentioned that kind of jokingly, and then I thought, Silver Surfer could be somebody that they throw out there and then have him go away for a while and then like have him become a bigger part of things down the line. Yeah. I don't know if they would do that though. I don't know. I don't know if Doctor Strange 2 will get intergalactic enough for that.
It's getting multiversal.
I know it's getting multiversal, but I think they're going to save Silver Surfer similarly to how they might be saving Adam Warlock for a Guardians of the Galaxy more sort of thing. I don't know. That might just be me. Prove me wrong, Kevin Feige.
Well, look at what they've done with Kang.
Yeah, I guess.
So, here's what I really want it to be. I don't care if it's Jean Grey or not. I want her to fight the Phoenix Force. I think that would be an epic battle of the Scarlet Witch versus the Phoenix Force.
Wouldn't it be cool if that's how they introduced that? And because we've seen the Phoenix story now twice in live action movies, and it's one of the best X-Men stories. So I think eventually we're going to get it in the MCU. But wouldn't it be cool if they planted the seeds that way? Like have it be, because in the movies, they never really did that. They just kind of had it immediately implant itself into Jean Grey. Whereas, whereas I think if they were to do that, if they were to plant the seed, even before they introduce X-Men, I don't know if they would do it because X-Men or because Phoenix is so closely tied to X-Men. But I don't know. Am I a bad person for saying I don't really want her to fight there's no one I think cool enough that they would introduce this early since the Fox deal happened that I would want to see.
Really?
Yeah,
the one that I go to with emotional weight would be Magneto.
But I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to introduce the X. I think it's too early for the X-Men. Am I crazy for thinking that?
I don't think you're crazy. I think It's twofold. I think it's too early to introduce the X-Men we're going to get very familiar with. I don't see it being too early to introduce a variant of these X-Men that we, as the audience, know who they are, and then we never see them again, and we just see a new variant crop up. Like, this is the perfect time for Michael Fassbender to come in.
Oh my God. If
be
that
like,
happened,
I'm
dude.
your father. And she's like, the fuck you are, dude? You're not dead. I mean, my brother's not dead anymore. Oh, shit. You know who it probably is? It's probably Pietro from, like, the actual Quicksilver.
Wait.
And she's going to be like, oh, you're a phony. Ah, and she's going to start attacking. And then he's, like, legit the real deal. Holy shit.
So Ralph Boner was, it was a twin double fake. It was like,
No.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is, in the multiverse of madness, they come across actual Pietro that looks like the guy who's Ralph Boner. And that's why she just like, oh, you're a fake, you're a phony. And then it's like, what are you talking about? Like, she's got no idea. Think about the comedic chops that you can pull off with
I'm forgetting his name too.
They're both named Aaron, aren't they?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh man, they're both from Kick-Ass. I know that. Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson is playing Craven, and it is Evan Peters.
Evan Peters, the American Horror Story guy.
We got there, ladies and gentlemen. So Evan Peters, like, it could totally be him. And yeah, dude, I think honestly, out of all of them, it's him, because it's the only.
I just don't know if they go back to that well. Like,
it's technically not going back to that.
I know, but from a fandom perspective, but like, people would be so upset. They would be like, "Oh, you're just catering to what people wanted. People got upset about Ralph Boner, and now, like, I think people."
Wrongo. That's not how filming works. That's not how making a movie.
I understand that, but the internet does not understand that. The general angry anonymous Twitter avatar does not understand that. I don't think it would be, if they were to do Quicksilver, it would be a different variant of Quicksilver. It might even be Aaron Taylor Johnson again. Like, if they were to do that,
mind-blowing situation.
I think it'd be way more likely that it be him than Evan Peters.
I think it's more likely to be Evan Peters, because she wouldn't fight that Quicksilver. I mean, unless
what if it's an angry one? What if it's a variant? He could literally be like,
secret. He's always angry. I don't know how we got the Hulk, but no,
yeah,
actually, I do. I that's fair. Okay, if he's an angry version of Aaron, I mean, an angrier version of Aaron Taylor Johnson's, but is that a Fox character or an MCU character?
Technically, I don't know. See, right? Because then you're in this weird. It's going to be somebody that, like, it's going to be like someone deep in the bench on Fox. It's going to be somebody that, like, they had the rights to, that isn't going to, I don't think, affect the universe too much.
What are some multiverse powered mutants?
I don't know. Would you call, like, Night? Would you call, like, what if it's Cable?
Yeah. Whether it's
what if it's Deadpool?
I've thought about that. Like, of all of them, I feel like Deadpool would be the easiest one to say, because we know that movie is being made. We know that he will be in the MCU.
And I can see how that scene would work, where I think, and I always think this for anything that has multiverse hopping, I think there's actually going to be a literal sequence where they are hopping multiverses, where it's like pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out. And I can see them popping into one, having a Deadpool freaking out, fighting, popping out. But I don't know how you make that as to top whatever the fight that Daniel RPK had tweeted about.
That's true. That's a good point. Should I open that brain? Yeah, I'll open that. we've gone very long on this subject because
we've got a lot of meat left on the bone, buddy.
We do. I'm pulling up I just want to know I want to know the fight. I gotta be 100% on this. Yes. It is Strange fighting Thanos on Titan, and they say Strange was God tier, and that is the reference. It's when he's just straight doing all the.
So magic. I think when he says it's going to top this fight, it's not like the actual person she's fighting that is going to top the fight. I think it's the way in which she is fighting will top the fight. Yes. I think it is. She's going to be using cool powers. So at that point, it could literally be anyone. It could be somebody that they had owned and never touched. Some deep bench X-Men character, some deep bench Fantastic Four character that they could somehow tie in. Like,
what if it's Galactus?
What if it's Galactus? It's not going to be Galactus.
Look at it like this. Strange is he looks omnipotent at this point. You're like, oh my God, like he's totally going to beat Thanos in this moment. But Thanos has,
I think Galactus is something
6 or 4 out of 6 stones at this point. So everything that's being thrown at him, he's just brushing off. And with Galactus, it's kind of going to be.
But Galactus is somebody. Galactus is a Thanos level thing. Galactus is somebody you lead up to in 15 movies without them ever even touching him.
Not necessarily. Thanos popped up at the end of Avengers.
And did they fight? Did they even have any real interaction? They did not. That's something you save. That's something you don't. Yeah, Galactus is somebody that you save for a major event like that.
I mean, I don't see the problem with fighting a Galactus in, say, another multiverse, and then you come back later on.
Was Galactus owned by Fox?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic Four.
Okay.
I do believe he's one of those, because he was
crossover
also an Avengers villain. He's a crossover, but they used him in Fantastic Four 2. I'm sorry, they used Galactus dust in Fantastic Four 2. Fan 4 Stick 2.
Right. Rise the Silver Surfer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Silver Surfer, man, kind of hits the
I can see it.
Head. It fits. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We're going to take a brief break, and then we'll dive into Spider-Man.
Reels and Heels is a podcast that discusses movies, television, wrestling, and more. With a rotating guest list of friends and filmmakers alike, Reels and Heels salutes the creative arts of all kinds. Join Brian Winzeloff and Nicole Jobin live every Saturday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Reels and Heels.
And we are back, mostly because I was getting everything set up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We're gonna move our faces over to the. Oh, there it is, technology. We're gonna watch the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer because, ladies and gents, we are here. We have arrived. The trailer exists. It's real. It's not a farce, and we're gonna talk about it. Got to turn this way down because I can never hear. Oh, turn on the captions, please. Thank you. So we're opening up. We got Zendaya being awesome and Tom Holland being also awesome, I guess. They're reading about all the fun stuff that spiders really can't do, Lord Spider and all that. Now we're swinging through, and it's Public Enemy #1, and this is where everyone's mind starts going bonkers. Is that Daredevil? That's everyone's question. Is that Matt Murdock? What do you think?
I think it is. Judging from, there's that brief shot there where there's a shadowy figure and it looks very similar, but I think it is. I think it's Matt Murdock.
Then they're on top of a bridge, and that's the bridge at the end of Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2002. The final climactic battle. Actually, that is that. Now we're going to the Sanctum Sanctorum. Good old Bleecker Street.
Why is it so cold here?
There's been a lot of Mephisto. People have said so many things.
People need to get over Mephisto. Jeez, are we doing this again? Really?
We are doing this again because people seem to think that is Mephisto. There was something that someone posted about the ninth circle of hell, and it is an ice box, and he freezes everything around him so other people can blah 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 blah.
I have seen some people going, "Oh, Doctor Strange would never act like this." So maybe I can't go through that again. I'm sorry.
My favorite thing is when people are like, he's a genius and he's brilliant. He would never get distracted by someone talking. Yeah, it's the same exact guy who has to cover his watch in surgery. I think talking is a little more than a watch tick. What did just happen? So multiverse has been open. Let's rewind. I do want to rewind because somebody pointed out there's a bunch of cool. I just want to look at the colors. Colors are fun.
Yeah, and something I noticed there. So all those colors is very similar, like vibe to when the multiverse, like the beginning of the last episode of Loki, and when the multiverse split in Loki. Very similar color wise. You remember at the beginning of Loki with the Marvel logo, and then it goes into that like really cool, like galactic looking shot. Very similar colors there. So it's them breaking the multiverse essentially, I think.
That is the shot. We just passed the shot. There's the box and the astral kick. We just passed 226 with the lizard. We've got the pumpkin bomb explosions. What sounds like Willem Dafoe laughing.
Whose voice is this?
Be careful what you wish for. Pumpkin.
I
still think it's Strange Boy.
You think it's Doctor Strange?
I still think it's Doctor Strange.
Okay. Because I hadn't really thought about it until today, and I saw some speculation going on around the internet that got me.
James Franco?
Yeah.
That would be very interesting of a choice. If that would be an interesting PR move. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, especially with everything. Yeah.
And it was going on before they started filming this movie, so I'd be very surprised if they went that route. Meanwhile, Willem Dafoe is a national treasure, and everybody loves with him, from what I've been told. So I hope
it's Willem Dafoe from The Lighthouse in this movie. I hope it's him with a beard and a ship's hat. And
oh wait, are we gonna get Batman show up too?
Yeah, there we go. I hope this whole time he's been just living in a black and white world with Robert Pattinson tending a lighthouse.
Wasn't the next phase earmarked as the cosmic phase from Terry? I don't believe so. I'm not even gonna lie. Ooh, Terry McIver also thinks Wanda to fight the Scarlet Witch of the Fox universe.
I don't know if I could like pinpoint who the Scarlet Witch of the Fox universe was.
Exactly.
We're on Spider-Man now. That doesn't matter. This movie's gonna be.
It still matters because it's connected. Because
I know,
multiverse,
but No Way Home.
Ooh, Foggy Nelson. That's an interesting one. Terry also says Matt Murdock, unless that was Braille paper. Hilarious.
Let's just make blind people jokes, I guess.
But I mean, I guess it's a joke. But again, that's why I said hilarious, because he reads. He learned how to read. All right. So what a part of this? What are your thoughts on this trailer? I'm gonna let you just go for a minute.
I don't know if I will ever reach the emotional high that I had seeing the trailer for the first time. I was sitting there when it was rumored to be coming out, and Twitter was saying it's going to be whatever 6 p.m. Pacific or whatever it was. I started Spider-Man 1 thinking it's going to come. And so I just started refreshing Twitter and watching Spider-Man 1. And when it came, for me, the initial version I watched was the Twitter version, which has these horrible captions in it. I did not like the captions. It felt very cheap, but I jumped out of my seat when that the goblin bomb dropped. That moment, because we knew something in me knew we were going to see Molina in this trailer, just because he's the only one that's kind of been like 100% confirmed. Like, he's talked about it. So we knew he was going to be there, and I'm glad they gave that to us. I'm glad that's how we ended, because there's still so much more for them to show us. But them giving us the Goblin Bomb and the laugh, that's the moment of the trailer. Like that's the moment of the trailer. I also love the look of the Goblin Bomb in MCU context. There's something about it. It looks very similar to the way it looked in 2002, quite honestly. But there's something about it in full HD that it makes it look like, oh, like this is the comics coming to life. Big fan of this trailer.
Yes.
Big fan.
I'm scrolling through our Twitter from, was it today or yesterday when I sent that video? I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday before our meeting.
Oh, are you talking about the quote unquote
I'm talking about
we're almost there, hero.
The leaked scene.
We're almost there.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
This account is temporarily restricted. Unfortunate. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so when I hear that, and I don't remember in Spider-Man if that's a line or not. I think it is. You're almost there, hero. I think that's a line from the first movie. I should know this. I just watched it, right?
Yeah, I just watched it too, but I was not. Once the trailer dropped, I was not thinking about it.
Oh, is this where we get the Baxter building? That's a damn good question. Damn good question, Terry. I really that leaked quote unquote scene. On my phone, it was far more clear, and the Goblin, his suit is purple and white with a green head, and I don't
just
know.
like the comics.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna just like the cartoon, just like the '60s cartoon. That weird, like it almost looked like fur trim, white trim, and the purple, like tunic kind of looking thing. I want the purple hat if we're getting that. If we're getting the green hat, if we're getting the. Also, his glider looks way wider than it did in the Raimi movies. Way wider.
Does.
Like it looks almost vulture wing-esque in length. Like it looks very, very big.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with that a lot, because it does. That was the one thing that I noticed was the colors, because I saw purple and I went, oh my God, I'm all in.
Yeah.
But then seeing how wide that glider was.
It's so wide.
It's huge. It's a couple car, like it'll take up a nice big part of the road.
If this is real, right? If this is real.
Oh yes. If this is real. Because as we all know, the internet lies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought my soundboard was turned on. Of course, I was
liar.
There we go. So Klein.
Yeah.
When it comes to the villains of this, we see in it. All right. We see lightning, yellow. We know Electro's supposed to be in there,
I'm excited. I'm excited about yellow Electro instead of blue dubstep Electro.
I didn't mind blue dubstep Electro. I like what they did. Really love his suit. Also, I might be impartial because I know the people who made his suit. So
okay.
Yeah, they're cool people. Interesting. There's only one goblin, the real goblin, the green goblin. I do get that one. That is.
I was never into the. I watched because I'm a '97 baby, so I didn't watch the '90s cartoon. I was way more into this. I was really into the '60s cartoon though. Like I don't know why that connected with me, but I watched a lot of that as a kid. Some of my earliest memories are sitting and watching that cartoon.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I watched the 90s one every day after school. I'd come home and I'd watch Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century along with Transformers Beast Wars.
Oh, Beast Wars.
Yo, right? And then Spider-Man would come on, and I loved Spider-Man, and I've gone back and rewatched all of it.
It's all on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's all on Disney Plus now. I think back when I rewatched it in 2011, fuck, that was a decade ago. You know what? Guess I'm diving back into the
What's
90s
the best
Spider-Man.
This is kind of off topic, but what's the best modern Spider-Man cartoon? Because there's Spectacular and Ultimate. Are those two of the most? Yeah. Okay.
I liked Ultimate. Ultimate brought in Deadpool and did Deadpool in a really cartoon kids way.
Okay.
Like really well done Deadpool. Also had Miles Morales in there. Donald Glover voices Miles Morales in that.
Very cool.
And then it led, like, I think the Ultimate led to a specific point, and then it became, I don't know what it is right now. I know it changes like Avengers Assemble changes. Like each season, it's its own story arc. Like they just did a whole Venomized season, I think, Ultimate Venom or whatever. So everyone got Venomized, which is awesome. I love some Venom.
Okay, let's go back to No Way Home, because there's so much. There's so much to dive into here.
So there's rumors of people at 226 say they think they see the lizard after plenty of people doctoring the footage to make it
people
brighter.
have saturated the heck out of it just to see. People thought for a while it was lizard with a snout, which I would be all about, instead of the flat-faced kind of human-looking lizard we got in an Amazing Spider-Man.
I love that. It's Ditko's original Envision.
The flat face?
Yeah.
I like the snout a lot more. I don't know why.
I
it
like
looks more lizard-like.
It does look more lizard, but that is the Ditko start. Also, I don't see a tail in that sequence.
Yeah,
and I've looked
so it could
a
be
lot,
anyone.
So it could be Venom. I'll leave that.
Tom Hardy? Venom?
Venom. I'm just saying Venom. I don't give a crap who's in the suit. I'm just saying it could be Venom. It could also be a lot of other people. It could be Rhino. Probably not.
No. Bring back Paul Giamatti.
Yes, I agree.
I also see in that footage, it looks like burning through something, breaking through glass. It looks like something. I don't know if it's a burn. I don't know if it's glass cracking, but if you look really closely, it looks like, you know, when you light like a center of a piece of paper on fire and it does this, like that's kind of the effect I'm getting, but I don't know why. It looks way too translucent for that to be the case.
I think it's a magical shield. And it's like a magical barrier from protection, and they come and they attack. I'm wondering, because he's wearing in that shot, he's wearing the suit that he's wearing at the end of this shot.
The Tobey Maguire
suit. Of the trailer. The Tobey Maguire suit, yes. And so that's when, you know, the youngest Doc Ock has ever looked comes up and says, "Hello, Peter." And
I love the look of him in this movie. Like,
I do too, because everyone's like, it doesn't ruin his arc from Spider-Man 2. And I'm like, he's a fucking variant, guys. Look at his hair.
Yeah,
his
I know a lot of
great. He looks thinner than ever. He's lost like 55 pounds. He looks great. He's built.
A lot of people are going to be very upset if all of these villains are not the ones that we like, the exact villains we know. Guys, like, yeah, like we have Alfred Molina as Doc Ock again. Who cares if he's a variant or not? It's
exactly. Because
even if we get Toby, if we get Garfield in this movie, I think they're going to be variants too. I don't think they're going to be the exact Tobey Maguire that we had in the Raimi universe.
Yeah.
While that would be awesome, I don't think that's the case.
You know, it's before we dive into the question that I have in terms of villains. You know, I was listening to the Direct Pod. Of course, you're close with.
I've heard of it. Yes.
Yeah, you've heard of it a few times. Have you been on there yet?
I have been on it. I did it. I went on once for a draft. I drafted Korg and Meek as the #1 MCO duo, and they haven't invited me back. So, I've heard of the Direct podcast. Yes.
Okay. Well, they were saying it looks as if the Raimi villains that are coming in are gonna at least not be fully redesigned, if you will. They still look just how they did with a few minor tweaks. Whereas Electro is coming in looking entirely different. Maybe we're getting.
Will he have a mask? Will he have the star mask?
That's really what I'm hoping.
I
for,
really
if I'm
liked
being
what they
honest.
did in the PS4 Spider-Man video game with Electro, where instead of the mask, he had kind of pointed scarring on his face. And I could see them doing something like that. So like he has scars that kind of make up that sort of shape. I could see them doing something like that. That's a touch that MCU would do, I think.
Another touch would be making that out of actual electricity, like his little crown. Kind of how Wanda had her crown out of energy before it solidified, kind of vibes. I think that's the way that they could go with that. But it looks like TASM might be getting redesigned because everyone kind of has this feeling that Andrew Garfield will be coming back for a long-term stint, being
really
Sony's. That's been my thought.
Yeah,
that Andrew Garfield is going to come back because
he will be Sony's Spider-Man.
And be Sony Spider-Man, and Tom Holland be Disney Spider-Man. And at any point in time, they can make their little crossover. And yes, Matt Rimke just showed up. That is exactly what his theory is. That's his theory. Yes, sir. I actually like that idea. And I think that more than anything, I actually would love it not being the same Andrew Garfield Spider-Man as TASM, just because, if it's not, maybe we get Emma Stone back as Gwen Stacy.
That's something that I'm really interested in is, do we get Emma Stone in this? Do we get Kirsten Dunst even in this? How far does the web go? Pun intended.
Nice. That was very good. Who's Madam Web?
I always thought it was funny that Mark Webb directed Spider-Man movies, but
yes. It's been very confusing between Mark Webb and John Watts because I remember their last names and I'm like, which one did which? I get confused easily.
But I want to see how far this multiverse goes. And this is assuming that Maguire and Garfield are in it, right? Like that has not been confirmed. I thought maybe in this we might have gotten a Garfield line, like a voice similar to how we got the Emperor's Laugh in that Skywalker trailer.
Okay.
I'm interested to see. I think he is for sure in it. I think Garfield is 100% in the movie. I don't know why. I'm still hesitant to say Maguire is. But I want him to be.
Fair.
I want him to be, and I want him to die in this movie.
You son of a bitch! Get out of my head. I love
dude.
it.
I want him to be
so much.
I pitched this in the direct Slack a little while ago, and I don't actually mean Tobey Maguire be this universe's Uncle Ben, but I want this moment. I mean, we kind of got it with Iron Man, but I want him to die in this movie and say, with great power comes great responsibility in this movie. I don't think that I don't think that will mean Tom Holland will. I think forever Tom Holland's Spider-Man's going to look at Iron Man as his Uncle Ben character. But I want Maguire, I want him to lay to rest in this movie. And I want him to say to Tom Holland, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think it could happen. I think it could happen.
I think it could. You got to get out of my head. So in terms of the Sinister Six, we didn't even mention the Sandman of it all. Is he there? Is he not? I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a Flint Marko guy. If he comes back, I hope he dies.
I like that Raimi rendition of that character. I like the Raimi rendition of Sandman a lot. I'm not a big comic Sandman guy. There are specific Spider-Man arcs in which Sandman is involved that I enjoy, but I'm not racing out to. I'm not a Flint Marko guy either.
So who is your Sinister Six that you want to see, or you think we could see?
I think it is Ock. I think it is Goblin. I think it is. So I'm just right now, these are the easy ones.
Yeah.
So it's Doc Ock, it's Goblin. It is Lizard.
Oh, okay.
It is Electro. And then the last two, I don't know. Does Vulture come back? I think Vulture might come back. And then something that would be really easy and probably would disappoint some people is Scorpion, because we got that tease.
Ooh.
Because we got that tease right at the end of Homecoming.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Or do we get Scorpion and someone else and Vulture doesn't come back? Because did Vulture kind of redeem himself at the end of Home? Or I don't know, not redeem himself, but at the end of Homecoming, he kind of, Scorpion asks him if he knows who Spider-Man is or whatever, and Michael Keaton says that he does, but he's not gonna rat him out.
If I knew him, he'd already be dead.
Exactly. So I think there has been talk of maybe Michael Keaton being in this movie.
Okay.
But I want to see Scorpion on screen because we got that tease, and I want them to lead up. I want them to fulfill their destiny, I guess. I don't know. Fulfill the destiny they've written.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'll tell you now, I liked your question on Vulture, especially because if he does come back, is he going to be going after Peter Parker with everybody else trying to kill him? I could see him doing that,
Or is he? I don't know. Did I say Sandman in that? Because is Sandman in this movie? Does he redeem himself? Is he more of a hero? Because in that shot that people say, "Oh, that's Sandman,"
looks like he's playing defense.
It looks like he's playing defense, right? Or do we have an Avengers 1 style thing where these villains aren't all friends to start out? Are they going to could that be Sandman fighting Electro, and could they be clashing, right?
Okay,
and then come together, have either Ock or Goblin say, "Hey guys, we need a united front here. If we're going to end this kid, or at this point, kids, I know Tobey Maguire's a grown man, but at this point, possibly 3 Spider-Men, we need 6. We need a united front." Yeah, what do you think?
Like
though?
the Avengers, more like a Sinister 6. Thank you. I know. So I think right off the bat, Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Electro.
Yep.
Because that's the ones we've heard.
Electro's confirmed, Ock's confirmed. At this point, it's safe to say Goblin's confirmed.
It's safe to say a Green Goblin is confirmed for sure. Then the introduction of Lizard in that trailer is interesting. Is it Lizard? Is it Venom? Is it somebody else? I don't really think of anybody other than.
Is it Doctor Strange? That I don't know.
So
it could be anyone in that shadowy figure.
It could be. It could be.
Is it Kingpin?
And then no, it's not Kingpin. I will save Kingpin. But when it comes to, say, the other villains we know of, Sandman, I don't see him being on this. Oh, he's a kid. We're gonna kill a kid. I don't see him doing that. So
no. Well, he had a
6.
I mean, in the Raimi verse, he had a daughter.
And if it's that same guy, then you got to assume. I mean, you got to assume that across the board that might just be his story.
Yeah.
In terms of, because I think that is Flint Marco's story in the comics, is he made bad decisions so he could pay for his family's dying medical bills. So the Vulture of it all, is he coming back? I could see 2 things with Michael Keaton's Vulture. Adrian Toomes, I could see him joining everybody. I could see him being the guy, be like, we need a united front. I could see him calling everyone together and being like, listen, you haven't fought this kid. I have. We got to come at him with everything we've got. I could see him being the ringleader, if you will, because he's our first villain, and he might be the greatest live action Spider-Man villain of all time. Is that a hot take? It's tough to say. Tough to say. Okay. I don't know. Somebody be like that. And then when it comes to who that 6th member would be, people are like Rhino. People are like this. Could be that. Who knows, man? Here's my 6. Like I said, Ock.
Is it Doctor Strange?
Goblin, Green Goblin. And then Electro. Those are the 3 I said. So we've got Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, and TASM 2. Well, Lizard, I'm going to go ahead and bring Lizard in and say TASM 1. I'm sensing a trend here. So I'm going to say Vulture, and
Mysterio.
Mysterio. I think we're getting 2 villains from each era of Spider-Man because why wouldn't we? The ones we've spent the most time with, the ones we know what they can and cannot do.
That seems very MCU. Like that is something that they like to, things just work. And so having the 2, 2, and 2, and then if you have the 3 Spider-Man in it, each of them have 2 reasons. There's no one pulling more than the other.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially because it's just the right amount of fan service. And in a way you could retcon / avoid all of Spider-Man 3, which again is the only bad Spider-Man film. So
okay. Yeah, sure.
All right.
It's not the bottom of my personal Spidey list, but
who's the bottom of your?
It's TASM 2.
Okay.
It's the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
There's more moments qualities.
I would say there are
Spider-Man 3 than TASM 2.
No, I just think that Spider-Man 3 is a better made movie. I don't know. So after I don't know what it is. I would say that it's held together better. It is held together better. Yes, the seams of Spider-Man 3 are better than Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
it's the pieces within those seams, be it the acting choices, for me the biggest sins of Spider-Man 3 are the actual actors in which they chose to portray certain characters, especially the Venom of it all. I do not like Topher Grace. I do not think Topher Grace was a good Spider-Man or good Venom. If you had a different actor in that character, I think that it would have been a better movie. Not a perfect movie, but a better movie.
Okay.
Whereas Amazing Spider-Man 2, Jamie Foxx, I like as Electro a lot. That's why I'm excited for this movie. I don't like him in that movie. I don't think he does a very good job. I don't think what they gave him was very interesting to do.
Interesting.
I would say there are higher highs in TASM 2. The whole Gwen Stacy of it all, that whole sequence to me has a higher high. I just think that there's lower lows.
I would disagree on the lower lows part for sure.
Okay. Because I just don't I think the final, to think in my head, the climactic battle of Spider-Man 3, I like more than the Electro battle in TASM 2, where he's just dashing around and there's terrible Hans Zimmer produced dubstep, but terrible dubstep playing. I don't think that's very interesting. It's just one of those CGI fuck fests, for a lack of a better term.
I like that. That's a great.
Whereas to me,
it was a CGI orgy.
The whole final climactic. I love how off track we are, but to me, the climactic battle of Spider-Man 3. Yes, Sandman is fighting, but I think there are moments in there that are genuinely terrifying with Venom, and then I think that solution with the sound is ingenious, I guess. I think that is a creative solution. The sunrise coming up and Harry dying is, I think, an emotionally impactful scene in that. I don't know. To me, it was just, I do a lot of movie reviews I do a lot of movie reviews. When I finish the movie, how do I feel? And in the moment, and I will put Spider-Man 3 above TASM 2 in just how I felt. I know a lot of people like TASM 2, and even in the last year, it seems that people have become more into TASM 2. I just don't think it is. I don't think it's a very good film.
Until I went on this rewatch, I had a much lower view of TASM 2 than I did.
Oh, and I didn't even bring up Dane DeHaan, that whole thing.
No, we're not. No, we don't need to bring up him. That's the actual worst part of that movie.
And the whole Sinister Six of it all, where they're teasing this universe that they hadn't built. that they're just, oh, we need a universe 2
later.
Yeah.
Shout out Marvel Studios doing it.
Anyways,
right.
we're talking about what's going to be, and I don't think it's pushing it to say this movie is going to be a lot better than both of those films.
I also agree with that. Okay, what do you think's going on with Stephen Strange? We'll try and keep these short because I don't have a lot of ideas on this Strange.
I don't think it's Mephisto. I think Stephen Strange in this isn't that out of character. I don't know why people are all up in arms about this.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think he's just trying to help a kid out.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
It's a simple erasure spell. Erasure?
Erasure.
I don't know how to. Anyway, it's a simple.
One question I do have about Stephen Strange is in the trailer, that train sequence when he's doing this and the trains are.
Yeah.
That's not I just did for audio listeners. I circled my hands. You know what I'm talking about. It looks like a revolver of trains. It looks like Spider-Man's fighting Stephen Strange there.
That's the vibe I got too. So does it work? And everyone forgets who Spider-Man is,
including him?
Doctor Strange?
Maybe.
And then be careful what you wish for, Parker. That feels like a very ominous thing. And I don't really have an idea of what's going on with Stephen Strange. It's something that I'm super excited to see.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's something I want to read more about. Oh, I don't know what's going on with this box. And there are people smarter than me, and I haven't spoiled myself. There are people who are more well-versed in comics that I know that know what that box is.
Okay, I need to avoid these people.
Yeah, it is some sort of not totem, but artifact. You know how he has artifacts around the Sanctum Sanctorum, the cape being one of them, the Eye of Agamotto being another. It is something to do with that. I have not read into what it is. And I don't want to read into what it is because I would like to go into this movie with some idea, or not a lot of idea, of what's gonna transpire. I want to keep this movie special for me.
Okay.
This is my Klein special time. I'm going to go into this theater and I don't want to know
special time.
I don't want to know 100% of what's going on. And if I don't know what the box is, I don't need to know what the box is.
Klein's special time.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on that Klein special time. What are 3 things that you want from this movie?
For me?
Yes.
Well, looking at your list, we have very similar lists, at least at number 1. And it's the Spider-Man. Yeah. I want to see them. Also, I'm a big fan. I don't know why, but I love and maybe it's like video gamer in me. I love armor upgrades. So give them give them suits that harken back to what they were. But I want as many suit variants in this movie as you can give me. And it looks like they're already doing that with Holland.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Iron Spider stuff in this movie actually is in the movie or if they're hiding something. I don't know if that suit is a different suit. Mm-hmm. Because the toys that have leaked have been similar to that suit, but something to do with him using magic. So I think that's the Doctor Strange suit that they might be hiding. I'm excited to see the black and gold suit. I think that's going to be really cool. Just give me all the suits. That's number 1, what I'm looking forward to. Number 2, even if why am I doing this in my head? Even if Maguire isn't in this movie, there are Maguire villains in this movie. Give me some Danny Elfman. Give me some of that score. Give me some of that Raimi verse score. I want some of those musical touches. And then number 3 is I don't know, James Franco. I don't know if he's in it. I don't know if I want to see him. It's more of a question of, I don't know, how far does that more to me is, as I was speaking before, about how far just does this web go? How far we're getting the villains. We could be getting the Maguire and the Garfield. So do we bring in a James Franco? Do we bring in Maybe another Aunt May. I don't know if that's something that I could see happening. Do we bring in
another Aunt May?
I forget his name, but do we bring in the landlord and his daughter from the Raimi verse, and he'll come looking for? He's the sixth villain from the Sinister Six, and he's looking for his rent.
Yes.
I don't know. I really there's a lot of. It's funny. We had a lot of questions going into this trailer. I feel like we have more questions. And they've confirmed things. Like they put a goblin bomb in this trailer. That I was not expecting to see, and I still have more questions.
Yes.
So, what are you looking forward to? What do you want?
I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to figure out. Should I go 3-1 or 1-3? What do you think? I'll go 1-3. Number one, I'm looking for all the Spider persons. I want Toby. I want Andrew. I want Tom.
Do you want more?
Miles.
I don't think we'll get Miles. One thing, and
the one that I really hope we get more than any other one, Spider-Gwen.
I don't know if we get that, but in the trailer, that shot you see Tom Holland running in the black suit he's running through Feast.
Yes.
Which is a place in the comics, but is very prominently featured in the Spider-Man PS4 video game. And I don't know how close you follow the inner workings of Sony's PlayStation, but when Spider-Man PS4 was remastered, they actually changed Peter Parker's facial model. They changed the way he looks. Could it be because they said at the time it was because it would make the facial capture technology that they were going to use for the next game and for what they used for Miles Morales, they changed the model because the face that they put together for that was way more, it would help. It was just going to help them down the line. Could you see Spider-Man's PS4 Peter Parker make a cameo with the white spider suit? I don't think you do, because the new face looks a lot like Tom Holland.
That's
he's running through Feast, and that is a long, like, that is me just throwing stuff at walls. But it did make me think. It made me think about that. Seeing that Feast, just with that weird little change, that seemed to be for no reason. They took this facial model that a lot of people really liked in Spider-Man PS4 and changed it to something that people aren't vibing with 100%. The new model does look like Tom Holland a lot. Not 100%. He does look like a store brand Tom Holland, like a knockoff. But yeah, I don't know. I want Miles in the MCU. I just don't think we get him here.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, we had a
Miles
5-year gap.
Yeah.
And then that would be 2 years after Coney Island, right? So it's been 7 years if he didn't get snapped away. So we never know Miles' age. We just know he exists in Homecoming.
Yeah. So
he's already alive at least. So is he just born? Anyways,
when they do bring Miles, I want Danny Glover or Donald Glover. I want Danny Glover. I want Donald Glover back in these movies. Yes, carry on. Yeah. Carry on.
My Sinister Six, like I said earlier, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, basically a villain from every Spider-Man movie. But then I had an idea, and it's because of Terry McIver.
To bring together a group of
insane individuals. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Extraordinary individuals.
Extraordinary individuals, yes. He asked, where will Bruce Campbell pop up? And so I don't know if I want it to be Jake Gyllenhaal Mysterio or the Bruce Campbell Mysterio we were supposed to get in Spider-Man 4. And I don't know about you, but every time I watch the Raimi Spider-Man movies and Bruce Campbell pops up, I'm like, hey, look at that. It's Quentin Beck, greatest actor of our time, running around. I mean, he's out there as a pro wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And then he cock block, like somebody listed it today as like he gives Spider-Man his name, he cock blocks Peter, and then he helps him with trying to engage ask Mary Jane to marry him. And I'm just like, yeah, give me Bruce Campbell over the top Mysterio just the same way, and then it's revealed and it's not Jake Gyllenhaal. Like that would be an interesting twist.
I'm going to contradict myself here.
Uh-oh.
What if Bruce Campbell, Mephisto, and they jump back when they do that popping thing that I was talking about in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And they go through those scenes and he's there, and the whole time he was like pulling the strings.
That is, that's breaking news.
I just came up with that.
I love it.
I love it,
you know.
And I don't want it to actually, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty damn cool.
That is my new official headcanon. That's what I want to happen.
Bruce Campbell, Mephisto.
Bruce Campbell. And I've been saying since WandaVision, Bruce Campbell playing Mephisto is a perfect casting. Because you can allow him to go over the top
what if
crazy.
So Bruce Campbell in every Raimi movie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What's a Raimi movie that's coming up? Multiverse of Madness. So, excuse me, just a sec. So
gotta get in.
I took my glasses off and now they're all crooked and I don't even know. We're almost done. Anyways, what if he is in? Oh,
it's Mephisto.
What if Bruce Campbell is Mephisto and he gets out of here somehow? Like he makes it through this movie and then is
what if he's not even in this movie? Like what if he gets what if we hear his voice at a certain point?
Yeah.
I mean, they saying it's Shumagorath. We're over here just acting like Mephisto's ever going to pop up, but it may not ever pop up.
I don't know if it'll ever. I don't know.
Did
people know who Mephisto was before WandaVision?
Archetype.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did.
Yeah.
but I can't.
But like the general MCU public.
General MCU public.
Yeah.
My number 3 is similar to what you mentioned earlier. You want Toby. I want Toby. You know, you want Toby to be in this and like say with great power comes great responsibility. I want Tobey Maguire to actually be the Uncle Ben in this universe. So when he shows up and he says something to Tom Holland's Peter goes, Uncle Ben? And he goes, what? No, I'm Peter Parker. Oh, you look just like you look like someone I know. Like that's what I want it to be. Simple. It doesn't have to be overt, doesn't have to be overtly emotional, right? And the best part is if we do kill Toby and that's his Uncle Ben, we don't know whether, or like we have that line in Civil War where he's like, when you can do what I do and then you don't do that, that's when the bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's on you. And it's as the guilt that he has there implies that he was there to watch his uncle die, but it's also never really been a part of his gravitas. So you could kind of argue maybe he just knows that his uncle died. Maybe because, you know, Peter's been there in every iteration, right? In the comics, he's there with Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben is there at the end. Maybe in this universe, he was not there at the end, but he was responsible. He just didn't find out till the next day, if you will. And so he's got a little bit less of it on, like it's on him, but not in the same way. So now it's happening again. And we watch that's my first live action Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like when that movie came out, I was over the moon because I've been watching Spider-Man since the fucking 90s, dude. So I think we can get both of our dreams in one fell swoop. And I think it'd be great, especially if May sees him and is like, Ben? It's like, no, I'm Peter Parker. And it's like, oh, you look just like my Ben. You're Ben. You're Aunt May? Oh my God. Right? Because No one knows how old Marissa Tomei is.
Did you see the video of Marissa Tomei?
I did.
Today,
I woke up to
or
that
the other
and
day.
was like,
yeah.
I was like, wow. You're welcome.
She's like, thanks for seeing the trailer. Thanks to all the Aunt May fans.
You know, I want Aunt May to get her own suit.
Sony already was going to try that. Sony already had an Aunt May movie ready to go.
Yeah, with Sally Fields. Good idea.
Who's a little younger.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, a little older than Marissa is.
They're probably not that far off in age, if I'm being entirely honest.
They look a lot. The age difference looks a little bit more.
Well, listen, I'm not going to finish that quote. That's fucked up, Thomas.
Okay.
Back to the plot. Yeah, I think Toby's Uncle Ben. Toby is the Uncle Ben variant. That's my last take. It's not a very hot take. It's kind of a cold take. Cold take.
Fresh out the fridge.
Fresh out the fridge. Coming fresh out the fridge with the cold take. Woof. I'd love to see an entire Sinister Six. This comes from Tarek Ivor. I'd love to see an entire Sinister Six made up of variants of Bruce Campbell. I'm fucking here for it. I'd like to see that movie with Bruce Campbell also playing Spider-Man. Just to fuck with everybody.
I always thought it was funny that Jake Gyllenhaal was almost Spider-Man back in the Tobey Maguire days. And then he was Mysterio. Which I thought, you lived long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Okay, Batman, I see you. Klein, where can everyone find you on social media?
Me? Oh,
yes,
I am at Klein of the Dino. That is KLINOTHEDINO. I'm everywhere. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I am on TikTok. I do tick the talk. Yeah, that's
do you
about
do it
it.
Around the clock?
I do TikTok all around the clock.
I can be found at linktr.com/TCRochesterACT. That's TCRochesterACT. That'll get you links to my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, maybe my TikTok if I post it. I made a TikTok recently. It was about how in shape coughing gets you.
I have posted 3 TikToks. 2 of them involved my parents' cat.
Priorities.
Yeah. I'm not a big... I'm there to appreciate the art of TikTok and not to create. I do not add anything to the landscape, the geographical landscape that is TikTok. But I'm there to look at the mountains and the valleys and the, I'm a tourist in the land of TikTok. I don't live there.
I get you. You're there for the highs and the lows and every now and then those mid cards.
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations for the audience? Something to watch, something to listen to, anything you got?
Go outside, stretch your legs a bit, eat some vegetables. You know what? My recommendation right now, eat a piece of fruit today.
Okay.
Because it's good. It's good. It's good. You have an apple, have a peach. Peaches, I think, are in season right now. I live in fruit country, so like the area of Canada I'm in, lots of wine, lots of fruit, lots of apples.
Wow.
So have some fruit. Other than that, recommendations, right now I'm going all the way through from the beginning, the Ultimate Universe, the Marvel Ultimate Universe on Marvel Ultimate, I guess. Marvel Unlimited.
You have that?
I do have Marvel Unlimited. So yeah, maybe join me in that. Go see Shang-Chi next week.
I bought my ticket today.
Oh, you bought your ticket today? Friday, right?
Today. Yeah.
It's a week. It's a week yesterday. Or September 3rd. You're going Thursday.
Thursday at 6 in IMAX. Yep. It's going to be fucking great.
Where I am, theaters are still locked down. So I might not be able to see it. There is the possibility that I might be able to go. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
You rent out the entire theater.
It's cheaper than you'd think.
My recommendation, go watch all 8 Spider-Man movies and confirm that Into the Spider-Verse is the premier top one of them all. But as we get here, oh yes, he bought it on the 4K. He's also got it
yeah.
on vinyl. He's a cultured, classy broad.
It's mounted up over there on vinyl on my little easel.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a Canadian culture you got up there. You got an easel? Like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I got Power Rangers laying waste to the MCU and DCU. As always, there could be no show without, normally it's like Clark Kent Doppelganger, but we have Kleino the Dino. He's a world famous journalist bringing the news and spicy webs. Thank you again, Klein, for joining me on this tangent town of rabbit holes and didgeridoos.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been a lot of fun. I know that I will never be able to fill the shoes of David Thompson, but I did have a lot of fun. It's gotten very warm in here in the last 20 minutes, so I'm like fogging up. I don't know why. But no, thank you so much for inviting me. It's always fun to jump on here and nerd out with you for, I guess, almost 2 hours. Jesus Christ.
2 hours. I know, it flies by, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happens on our 3-hour shows. We're just like, we got 2 hours and 30 minutes in, and we have like 45 news stories left to go. Thank you to Terry McIver for his hard work behind the scenes with guests, socials, and research, without whom this show would be Bush League. Thank you to the HWWSWebTV family for supporting us, carrying us on the network, and again, getting us ready for Suncoast Fan Fest, where Thunder Buddies is probably going to be coming back to you live, and maybe, just maybe, a Star Wars event as well. Mostly thank you to you, our fans, that join us weekly, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or listening via Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Spreaker. We appreciate you spending your time with us. Like, follow, subscribe, drop us a comment, leave a review, and give us 5 stars if you're feeling generous. As always, I am Thomas Carter Rochester.
And I'm Klein Felt.
Thank you for joining episode 68 of Lights Thunder Action. We will see you next time. Monster Nom Nom?